Welcome everybody to the Unspoken Truth Podcast Show. This your boy JB, aka Big Spoke Draco. We got my dog, my main guy. Go ahead and say your name. I ain't gotta say it for you.
Man, it's Roy Wood Jr. up in this thing, man. Good to see
Roy.
you, young brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And I
Roy.
say young respectfully. I don't want you to think I'm trying to son you because I know you're a grown man handling business. You're raising a youngin', but you know when I say young, it's out of respect because you've been doing it for a long time. You're younger than me, and you ain't got no gray hairs yet. So
Man, you've been doing it longer than me, man. People don't know. People don't know about you, man. People don't know about you as far as like how we met. I'm gonna tell y'all real quick before we get into everything. Roy was the first OG like ever. I remember. I think it was 2011, 12, like 2011 when we first met.
It might have been before that, man.
You think so? No, it had to be 11 or 12. I think it was 11 or 12. It was one of those years. One of those years you came to Orlando. You flew down. You had a show, and you hit me up. You actually hit me up before you even got there and said, "Hey, man, you know what I'm saying? I'm you know, when I get there, we're gonna go out or whatever. I'm gonna take you out, whatever." And this man took me to Five Guys Burgers, and then I remember, man, he took me to Five Guys Burgers, and we had a long conversation, man. And he put me on game about with so much, man. He was actually the first person to ever do that, especially in the comedy realm. So I just want to say I appreciate it again. You know what I'm saying? All these years later. And, this right here is a good guy, man. If y'all know who Roy Wood Jr. is, man, he's been on Comic View, Def Comedy Jam, Conan Show, Showtime at Apollo, Comedy Central, Daily Show, One Last Comic Standing, host of the show This Not Happening. Look,
prank calls on Ricky Smiley. Oh. You know, like most folks know about me from the pranks from Ricky and Tom Joyner and all that shit, too.
I was finna get that. You the king of the pranks, man. You the king of the pranks. Man. I think you the king of the pranks for real, because for real, when I really look back and think about it, and I think about like the Ricky Smileys and maybe and I can't
Nephew Tommy and all that.
Nephew Tommy, you have the most workout. I think you have the most workout out of everybody. So I'm gonna give it to you and say you the king, but all y'all kings and stuff like that. But this is one of the king of prank calls.
I'll always say Ricky was ahead of the snake because, you know, he was my OG on the radio side of the game from Birmingham. Only reason I got in the radio is because Ricky dipped. Ricky was the king of the city. You know what I'm saying? When Ricky started, when Ricky hit with My Name Lil Daryl on Comic View, man, that shit was fucking forest fire hot. So when Ricky dipped, he kind of left the seat open and kind of gave me some of the game. And I'll be honest, about that time in Orlando, for me, it was a mutual respect because I've tried to never carry myself as a nigga who couldn't learn something from somebody younger than them.
Yeah.
Like, especially in black comedy, it's a lot of sunning going on. It's a lot of, I've been doing it longer than you. You don't know what you're doing. Do it like me. And I got to a point, like I'm in this weird no man's land where I ain't been doing it long enough to be respected on the same plane as Bruce or D.L. Hughley or like the OG said the entertainers. But I've been doing it long enough to where I ain't a young nigga where I'm in some of the new jack categories as well. So for me, it was like always trying to figure out a way to reinvent. And when I started paying attention to what cats like you were doing at the time, when YouTube really started peaking and really cats was figuring out a way to monetize and really figuring out ways to be self-starters.
Yeah.
And I found out your story was rooted in the fact that the club system wasn't fucking with you. And the fact that, like, okay, part of what drove him to this is because of the traditional paths weren't being open. They weren't even open creatively to what cats like you were doing. So I was like, all right, well, it's got to be something of what I'm doing that I can learn from him. Maybe it's something that he needs to, let's sit down over a hamburger and just swap secrets.
Yeah.
You know, in the time it takes to eat a hamburger, we should be able to both leave with something that makes us better men at our craft. So that's all I was trying to do. That's all I ever try to do when I fuck with these young comics out here or anybody that's doing something on a different trajectory from me. Because I ain't here to ever think I got all the answers, man. It took me 20 years to figure out that half the goals I was chasing, you was only chasing them because the niggas that came before you wanted them. Like in a weird way, if you ain't careful with the game, you inherit your predecessor's goals. If that makes sense. Like when I came in the game, everybody wanted to get on Letterman or get on the Tonight Show. Get on Comic View. If you can get on Comic View, then you'll be a star.
Yeah.
I did Comic View 3 years in a row. By the time I got to Comic View, the juice was gone. By the time I got on Letterman and Def Jam, the juice was gone. So you can't chase what somebody else already did, because by the time you get it, it's not going to have the same effect on you. And it's not disrespect to all that shit on my resume, but what you should have been doing is looking for the new way to figure out how to do something. That's why, man, I'm telling you, man, as sad as this Corona shit is, you're going to get some new creative stars out of this, because there's a lot of cats sitting at home with a lot of time to think, and they got good ideas. And when them motherfuckers figure out how to put 2 and 2 together, they going to be some beasts.
Man,
old niggas running around here still with flip phones and ain't even realized that when we come out on the other side of this Corona, the way the game was for entertainment across all genres, singers, models, poets, whatever the fuck you do, whatever your game was before this, it better be different on the other side of you.
Wow. Man, that's crazy, because that actually is one of the questions I was going to ask you. I got 18 questions for you, Roy.
Okay.
18.
Fire them all.
18. So since you already jumped into one of them, bringing up the COVID-19 stuff, let me just go ahead and get into it. How do you feel about not being able to perform throughout the COVID-19 pandemic? And how do you see the world moving after this all blows over? I mean, you kind of answered a part of it.
Well, I wrote an article for Vulture a couple weeks ago, when the shithole started, you know what I'm saying? And it was, I feel like this. Number one, all the comedy clubs, I'd say half the comedy clubs, gone. So if you're a road comic, that means you got to self-start. You got to find your own rooms. You got to find your own venues. You got to find places to go and meet the people. Without the comedy clubs, you don't have the comedy club promotional machine. So that means you got to be in tune with what's going on online and digitally, and really finding people and convincing people that you're worth fucking with. I think that the biggest thing that's going to happen, and this is all speculation, but I'm just looking at the numbers, right? I think everybody gets demoted, essentially.
Okay.
So if you have an arena act, like you say, give me a Kevin Hart, give me a Dane Cook, give me maybe Sebastian Maniscalco, Cat Williams, anybody of that ilk, right? If you're playing 10,000 seats, you probably got to go down to 2,000 seats. If you're a nigga that normally play 2,000 seats, like say a Deion Cole, you might have to play 1,000 seats, or you may just go do a weekend room and add shows. So I think everybody's going to move down a notch, because there's not going to be as many venues out there. So like, let's just take a concert act.
All right.
Playing 10,000 seats, right? Them venues are sold up. At least, like fuck what you hearing on the news right now. All this, it'll be a month, and we'll be back to no.
It's gonna be way longer than that.
NBA is a wrap. You niggas lucky if you get 30 games of baseball before October. NFL might start on time, but that bitch might not have nobody in the stands. So any big stadium is off the table. So if you're a performer, they're not even really making TV right now. They might start back making TV before they do anything else. But if you're a performer that makes your money on the road and the big seats ain't open, you gotta go to the smaller venues. You ain't got no choice.
Yeah.
Because you gotta eat. So if you're a nigga that's already playing a smaller venue, you gotta compete with the big dog that's coming in now. And that's myself included. That's myself included. Like right now, I play most major cities at the comedy club level. We're talking 200 seats, maybe 300 seats.
Yeah.
I sell okay. I don't sell out every city. It's a growth act, right? So in the cities where I don't sell out, and you're a comedy club that's been closed for 3 months, who you gonna book? You gonna book me because you like me and you know if you bring me a couple times, eventually I'm gonna sell out? Or you gonna bring that fire ass nigga who used to sell 2,000 seats, who you know can sell 300?
I'm bringing in that fire.
That's business. And I ain't mad at the game. It's just a lot of cats that I think they haven't done that deductive analysis yet of where they're gonna be. They think that this shit is gonna be over with, and in July they're gonna go right back to doing everything they was doing. These comedy clubs are already firing their wait staffs, bro. So when it's time to open back up, they gotta open it with heavy hitters and big gunners. And if you was a nigga that wasn't selling tickets before this, it's gonna be harder for you.
Yeah.
It's gonna be way harder for you because you got the same amount of comedians and now you got half the venues. So that's big bank take little bank. So I think the younger comics, the openers, the middle acts, you know what I'm saying, who wasn't even at that level yet, they're gonna have to start figuring out ways to create their own shit. Because the clubs, it's just not gonna be enough clubs, man. It's just not initially. Not
Man.
middle America, because that's where people make their money. Everybody talk about New York, the greatest city in the world, and LA, the greatest place for entertainment. But the reason why you bust your ass in New York and LA is so you can make money in St. Louis,
Mm-hmm.
so you can make money in Dallas, so you can make money in Nashville. If ain't no venues, what you gonna do?
Yeah.
So I just wish that, I just hope that the younger folks in the game consider that, and I hope that the old heads are thinking about that too. You know, it's just a lot of naivete about, you know, where it is. I've always operated. I could be wrong, man, but I've always operated from a place business wise in my career where everybody talk about the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
To me, the light is the train coming to run me over. So I've always operated with this sense of paranoia of just continuing to run into the unknown because I know it's better than getting run over by the train. And that's kind of how I've approached it, you know.
Dead ass.
So I don't know what's around the corner, but I know cats need to be thinking about that shit, man.
That's a hell of a prediction. That's a hell of a prediction that you just came up with.
I mean, we doing fundraisers already, coach. We already laid out tipyourwaitstaff.com. Me, Mike Birbiglia, John Mulaney. We've been raising money the last 3 weeks for out of work comedy club waitresses.
Yeah.
This is before the feds was gonna kick in at 1,200, and still ain't a guarantee you're gonna get that anytime soon.
Yeah.
We're trying to take care of the folk. Comedy
Yeah.
Central. We got a Laugh Aid that we're doing. And it's like a 10-hour streamathon with all these big heavy hitter comedians. And all we doing is getting people to kick in money into a pot.
Yeah.
We'll take money out that pot and give it to other stand-up comedians to make sure they can live. This is the closest we never came to having a union or any type of support system for entertainers. It's fucked up. It took this for it to happen. But if you're a comic and you're out of work right now, you can apply for a grant to just get some cheese, man. Just to get something on your plate. But we gotta do the fundraise first. But that's what we're doing, man.
Wow. That's
so,
crazy,
you know,
man.
It's the thing though, I will say this though. I think if it's anybody that's emotionally prepared to handle whatever Mad Max wasteland we walk into,
Yeah.
entertainers, man. You started in this shit dead broke. You started in this shit not knowing which way was up. You started in this shit not knowing what the hell you was gonna do,
For real.
crying in the car. You real about this shit if you didn't cry in the car. So if you didn't cry in the car, you'll figure out a way through because the talent and hustle is all that's gonna matter. This is gonna really weed out the niggas that really wasn't about crying in the car.
Yeah, this is the time to see. This is the time to figure out and see what you're really made of.
Oh, it's gonna be a lot of niggas that quit. And it's gonna be a lot of comics that have to get a job just for the sake of survival, but you'll know whether or not that fire is still in you or not, man.
Yeah.
You'll know. It's an easy answer.
Well, you heard it, folks. Moving on to
trying to scare nobody, but you know,
hey.
I'm just trying to. This is as honest as I see the game. I hope I'm wrong.
I don't think you're wrong. I don't think you're wrong.
Man.
All right. Well,
I'm just saying you can't get mad. You can't get mad if you ain't been about your shit up until now, and then the club call and say, "Yeah, we like you, but nigga Mike Epps and Corey Holcomb coming through, and they about to kill it. Ain't nothing you can do but ask if you can open for them. That's what you should be doing."
Yeah.
I wish a club would call and bump me. Bitch, I ain't going home. I drove here.
Real.
Ask Mike Epps if I can do 10. Because then I'm making new fans. So now the next time I come through, I'll sell some tickets.
Yeah.
It's an investment, man. It's a trade-off. I ain't never been too proud.
Y'all heard it, man. This is a man of 20 years in the game. He's saying, well, can I get 10? You know what I'm saying? You don't hear that from people that's been putting in 20 years. You don't hear it often.
It's two gigs, man. It's gigs that make you money and gigs that give you growth. So.
Wow. I never thought about it.
Those are the only two gigs that exist. You will always get growth. You won't always get money, but you'll always get growth.
Yeah.
So you can get to a point where you always need money. Okay, that's fine. But I guarantee you're probably turning down some stuff that might have given you some growth or some opportunity. But it's hard for me to get that type of advice to cats now because also I started in '98, man. The whole financial structure, the cost of living, rent was different.
Yeah.
Gas was cheaper. The mathematics of being a road comic and an entertainer, period, was different. You can sit online and build your audience and then go out and hit them over the head.
Yeah.
Plenty of cash. So, I ain't mad at cats that did it that way either. That ain't no different than working the open mic grind for 10 years.
For real. All right, y'all. So going into the second one, man. Give us a quick story about the worst whooping you've ever gotten.
Oh, nigga, that's an easy one. It's the last whooping I got.
Ooh, the last whooping is always the worst one, right?
The last whooping.
Ooh, oh.
I started rubbing my leg just thinking about that shit. So we had a field trip. This is 6th grade. And so
Nice.
6th grade was only here in Birmingham. I went to a white school. I was bussed out like an hour out to the east side, to Roebuck.
Yeah.
So we had a field trip to some museum or some shit or whatever. And I forgot to get my mama to sign the permission slip. I just forgot. It wasn't like I couldn't go. It wasn't like I was on punishment.
Oh,
I could go to the fucking museum. I just forgot to get that bitch signed. And if you don't go on the field trip, they put you in that room with all the other ain't shit niggas.
Yeah.
And you sit there for 8 hours, and your Game Boy ain't got but 3 hours worth of battery. So you can't even play your Game Boy all day. So my mom was left-handed, so I couldn't do the slant the way that she do the slant on her signature.
Yeah.
This white boy, Matt Burrell, go, I'm left-handed, just let me do it. I forged my mama's signature on this permission slip. I went on this field trip. We got back to the school at 2:30. I'm chilling. I got all the souvenirs in my hand. I got a Auntie Anne's pretzel. Got pretzel crumbs on my lips and had a good time. I get back to the room, to the classroom. Nigga, my mama's sitting in my desk. She crammed up in my desk, chilling.
She was sitting at your desk.
School don't let out till 3:30. It's 2:00. My mama checked me out. That's how anxious she was to get in that ass.
Wow.
Mama checked me out. And
dang, she checked you out of school?
Checked me out of school, whooped my ass. Bro, I got an ass whooping from Roebuck to West End, from W.J. Christian all the way to the west side of Birmingham, which is a solid 35-minute car ride. I tried to sit in the back seat like she was my Uber driver. She was like, come on up front like you always do. I got my mama right hand, wop, all the way home. Then when I got home, got the actual proper whooping. That shit was just
the proper whooping.
The shit in the car don't count. When your mama hits you in the car, that shit don't count.
That don't count.
That's pre-whooping.
That don't count. That's pre-whooping?
My mama put that marinade on my ass and then put me in the house, went to work on me.
Ooh.
That was it, man. I never forget that one, man. That was the one. But after that, my mama figured out, because I would always choose whooping over punishment.
Yeah.
You could get through. After that, my mom
it's quicker.
Yeah, she figured out after that. She was like, all right, no more whoopings. We taking privileges. That's when it started hurting,
That's crazy, man, because the last time I got a whooping, my mama broke the broom on me. And when she did it, she'll whoop me so much, and it broke on me. I was playing like my collarbone was broke. So my collarbone broke. So she put me in the bathtub with some Epsom salt and put it all on me. And then she called my grandma because she was scared, because she didn't know if it was broke. She was scared to check me into the hospital.
Something wrong with JB.
She was sitting there like, my grandma was like, you see why I don't tell you? Now your ass about to go to jail because you broke the broom on. And I'm sitting up in the bathtub thinking like, that was the last whooping I got. But it worked though. It worked.
Man, I'm waiting to whoop mine. Because here's the thing, man. Like,
I'm waiting to whoop mine.
Let me rephrase that. I ain't waiting to whoop my son. I just know we got to fight at some point. I got to choke him. He's a black man. Sooner or later, he going to challenge me for the throne. And I'm going to have to choke you.
Yes.
And it needs to be a surprise.
Yeah.
It needs like I ain't touching my son at all. This is a 13-year long game. I'm gonna
Okay.
wait till he's about 14,
Wow.
15. He think I'm still that timeout, go to your room ass nigga. I'm taking your no. And that's gonna scare him. And that's all you need. Like everybody go, don't whoop your kids. What you should say is only whoop your child once. Pick
Yeah,
one
yeah.
time.
Wow. That's a good method.
That's my plan.
Only whoop your child one.
Just one time, but you got to make it count. It can't be when he 3 and he ain't like my son tonight didn't want to finish the potato soup. He wanted some crackers, so he kept yelling for crackers for 20 minutes. You don't whoop no kid over a food choice.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
You
Yeah.
wait till he sneak out the house and take your car somewhere. That's when you choke him out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh wow, yeah, you're right about that.
Yeah,
That's a good.
yeah.
Yeah,
And if I lose, I gotta leave the house. Like I really, that's what I'm scared about. I also believe in that. I believe if you're a man and you lose the fight to your son, that it's like the lion.
It's his house.
Like
It's
when
his
the
house.
lion,
It's his house.
yeah,
It's his house. What you
lost.
gonna do?
Especially if you're a stepdaddy. If you're a stepdaddy and you lose to the stepchild, oh yeah, you gotta leave.
You gotta leave the house, bro. You gotta leave the house. You gotta leave the house. You stepdaddy and you get your behind whooped by the son, you got to leave the house.
That's
Your
why
moms ain't
stepdaddies
working
be
out
so
no
abusive.
more. Y'all got to meet up at Ponderosa and go back to your crib. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Bruh, that's why stepdaddies be abusing them kids so much. They be coming in too hard.
wow.
Trying to establish dominance.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah.
Man, all right. So here's another one. What brings you peace, and what will happen if you don't get that peace?
Ooh. I'm starting to find out what brings me peace over this quarantine, and that's being alone. And
You never been alone?
even when no, I'm just saying, even when being with someone, I still have a desire to be alone from time to time. Like even if it's just for an hour.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I live in my head, and I think that's a byproduct of just spending my entire 20s. I spent on the road. I drove 500,000 miles as a road comic, you know. So that's a lot of time alone. You in a hotel. I didn't kick it with the headliners and all of that shit.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's where my brain slows down to become creative. And so what I've learned in the past 2 weeks, just being at home with my girl and my son, is that midnight to 4 a.m. That's my sweet spot for creativity. It don't matter if I'm exhausted or what. If something productive gonna get done, it's gonna get done overnight.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So not being able to travel and not having that alone time, and like I really took for granted how much just being on the road afforded me opportunities in the middle of the day to just be alone.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't get that at work. You know, the Daily Show moves, you know, it's a lot of hustle and bustle at the Daily Show. So you don't really get to be alone there and live in your head. And I like living in my thoughts. Like that's what I need. But what I can do around a lot of people, I do Sudoku puzzles, man. I do jigsaw puzzles. And if I need to slow my brain down, I can call some old partners and people like that. That I try to catch up with old friends. I'm not good about catching up with people like I should.
Yeah, yeah.
So I try to stay on top of that. Like that's one thing that I try to like. That gives me a little bit of peace.
Yeah,
just,
yeah.
You know, reconnecting with people.
That's actually true, man. Because I'm real big on like getting your alone time, and my schedule is actually kind of like that. I'm a stay-at-home dad or whatever. I've been with my son for like 2 years, and just like you said, at nighttime I pick a certain time at night to give myself just that time. You know, because if you don't have that, I feel like I'm gonna go crazy if I don't get that, and that's why I started fishing so much. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Because it created a piece for myself so I can think about stuff and throw my line at the same time, and it's nothing but peace. So you need
my
that.
little brother's big on that, man. He go early in the morning too when it's quiet.
Man, ain't nothing like it.
I have a balcony, which helps, but it's also New York City. So New York ain't quiet. Like it's just there's nowhere you can go without just some nigga being too close to you, and just that's why we got all the corona up here, because niggas is just on top of you. You can't get away from nobody. So that's probably the one thing that I know I need. Chappelle talked about this shit years ago in a magazine interview. about how every comedian needs to know what feeds their joke machine. And once you
Hmm.
identify, when you're in periods of high creativity, identify the stimuli and the things that you did over the course of that week.
Yeah.
Those are the things that probably feed your creative machine.
Yeah.
And when I documented that stuff time and time again, the two things that were always on there was either alone or bored.
Yeah.
I drive myself to boredom. Or like I try every week to watch 30 minutes of a TV show that I normally wouldn't watch, just to be aware of what's happening in the world.
Yeah.
Or it's so fucking boring, I'll think of jokes off of it because I'm annoyed.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So doing stuff like that kind of helps the creative process too. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's cool. The thing that's dope about it though, man, is that you gotta, like, I'm lucky to be in a relationship with a woman that understands that shit and don't take offense. Cause I've been with chicks where it's like, well, why you ain't talking? Well, I'm here, I'm over here. I'm in my head. I'm thinking about some shit. Can you come over at 9? No, I can come over at 11. Well, why you got to come over at 11? I just want to be alone. Oh, you saying you don't want to be?
Mm-hmm.
And you be in that type of situation, you can't win.
Man, I'm thankful to have somebody like that in my corner too, because she totally understands my creative juices, and a lot of times I'll be sitting on the couch looking crazy, you know what I'm saying, looking crazy,
Mm-hmm.
and she respect it. She respect it because she just knows that I'm a creator. But a lot of people don't understand the life of a creator, the life of a creator just in general, creator, writer. It's so much that goes through our brain. It ain't nothing personal. It's just us. It's just we just in our little bubble.
Yeah, I'm just over here. And when I come back to Earth, I'll be here and be with you and be present. And
Yeah.
I just think but a lot of that boils down to being with somebody that respects what you do. If they respect what you do, then they'll respect the process.
True. True. Facts. Facts. All right. So moving on to the next one. What's your thoughts on entertainers living a fast life? And do you got any like health tips? You know what I'm saying? Because I know you got your health thing going on or whatever. Like what's your thoughts about?
Um, Eat right, exercise.
Yeah.
Sounds stupid, but if you do one or the other,
Yeah.
you're ahead of the curve. If you do both, you're gonna have some real longevity. Go look at Bill Bellamy. Bill Bellamy, damn near 50. Nigga look 38.
Yeah.
Look, every bit of 36 years old. Like, that's a brother that's always worked out, took care of himself, and that's going to always give you a one up. Also, it's good, for your neural synapses and shit like that. I exercised a lot more before I moved to New York, and I think I
Yeah.
started focusing too much on stand up, and my health suffered a little bit for it. It's like I lost weight, but it was the bad weight loss.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's more stress than anything else. So that's not necessarily the best way to go, but I get it because, it's a hustle. But I also spent 10 years on the road eating like shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just pick 2 days a week to eat something healthy.
Yeah.
Just start there. If you start there, you can branch out from one meal a week to 2 meals a week. Next thing you know, every day you're doing at least one healthy meal.
Yeah.
Like, that's probably the simplest approach I can
Mm-hmm.
give anybody, man. Also, don't be around negative people. Negative people, if we're talking about, taking care of your body, taking care of your mind requires you to have positive, positive people around you, or at least a positive attitude. Be around people that's dreaming and striving and trying to do more, even if y'all ain't on the same page of the career. If you hang with a chef, make sure that nigga want a restaurant. Make sure he's somebody that ain't just trying to flip burgers somewhere, talking about he a chef. That nigga need to have a business plan and goals, because when you hang around people like that, that shit rubs off on you. So take care of your mentals. It's like Marshawn Lynch said, take care of your mentals and
And
your
you
chicken.
chicken. And you
And take care
chicken.
of your bodies. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. All right. What's your recipe for staying grounded and maneuvering amongst wolves in the game?
Uh, Keep your distance.
Yeah.
Business is business, but you start getting mad. Like people call wolves because you viewed them as sheep, or you thought that they were genuine and that they were a nice person and all of this stuff. I tried to be honest with myself about what I think somebody wants
Yeah.
and whether or not it's something that they want from me or whether or not I could give it to them. And you can figure out real fast who those people are. I try to be respectful of everybody, but when you talk to someone, here's a red flag. If you talk to somebody and all they got is nasty things to say about other people, or if all they do is ask you questions about other people and other things that you're doing, but ain't never really talking about themselves or ain't never really asking you real questions about your own shit, that's a wolf, coach. That's somebody that's selfish. That's somebody that don't give a damn about what you up to or what you're really about. And they're not trying to, like, the best question you could ever ask anybody is, how can I help you? Is there anything that I can do for you? Because then that's a trade-off. Because if you can help somebody and you help them, then they owe you one. And that's also an easy way to figure out who the wolves are, because they may just take you up on something, take advantage of you, and keep moving. But if there's someone that you could do so, if there's someone that you could stand to gain something from, figure out a way to add value to their situation. That's some Gary V jab, right hook shit. I'm not going to even take credit for that. I got that straight out of one of his books, and that just worked for me. Like it's just about knowing. Like there's people in LA, there's people in Black Hollywood who I know they don't do right by people. They are underpaying their crews. Sometimes they steal ideas. Sometimes they're just wanting to be seen and be on the scene. So if I have a meeting with one of those people, in my brain, it's strictly, what can you do for me? What can I do for you? Nothing. All right, cool. I'm gone. Fuck a drink. Fuck hanging. Fuck kicking it at the red carpet at whatever the hell. Like I see a lot of these folks. I've been blessed enough to go to the Emmys after parties and stuff like that, and see cats like that from across the room, and I give them a hello. But what's the purpose of me even coming over there to talk to you when I know what you're about? Because if you're a nigga that steal ideas, why would I share one with you? I have to keep fake stories in my head when people ask me what I'm working on, just so I can lie.
Hey, that's real, man. Hey, that's real. What you working on, man? What you been up to?
Man, I got this thing I'm doing right now, but so and so.
Hey, come on, man. You ain't gonna mess with your boy. What's up?
Bro, I'll fuck around and give you an idea that somebody already sold 2 years ago just to make you think that I'm working on something. Because it doesn't matter. Because if I've already identified that you can't do shit for me, then there's no sense in us playing this stupid ass charade game. It just doesn't make sense. So I'm not going to tell you the idea so you can steal it. And if it was something that I really feel like you could do, then I would reach out through proper channels and go through your people or go through our agents or something like that.
Yeah. That's
so, I try to just be a good person, man. I don't talk shit about nobody. I ain't got no comedy beefs. The worst thing I done heard a nigga say about me is that he didn't like my last hour special because he ain't like my outfit. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
If that's why you hate me, cool.
Yeah.
I could deal with that. That ain't even nothing I'm gonna even go try. I ain't even ask what his name was.
Yeah.
Person told me, I didn't even ask. I just laughed. I was like, all right, that's fine.
Man, that's real. That's real. What was the worst?
Head low. Don't do nobody wrong, man.
What was the worst joke you've ever told?
Ooh.
What was the worst joke you've ever told?
So Arsenio Hall was on Star Search. I'll tell you the worst thing I ever did on TV.
Okay.
And I told the story. If you just Google my name and Arsenio Hall,
okay,
the long version of the story is on YouTube. I told it on This Is Not Happening. But the long and short of it was on Star Search at the time. This is 2003. This is when American Idol was still the shit. Like Ruben Studdard, Fantasia era American Idol.
I watched that.
So CBS tries to do their little Star Search version of it, and they have comedians. They give you 90 seconds to tell a joke. I had a Hulk Hogan joke that was a 4-minute joke in the Raw.
Mm.
I tried to chop that bitch down to 90 seconds and tell it in 90 seconds. Talked way too fast, blew through all the punchlines. It wasn't a good joke. It wasn't a good performance. Out of 20 stars, I get 8. Now,
Okay.
the week before, I got like 18 out of 20. This week, I get 8 stars. So they go to each judge. Each judge, you wasn't funny, 2 stars. You wasn't funny, 3 stars. B2K was the guest judges on that episode.
Yeah.
Man, one of them niggas said, 1 star. I'd give you 0, but there's no button.
Ooh.
Which was fair. That was a fair assessment.
Who said it?
I don't remember which one of them niggas, man.
What it look like?
I don't remember. It was J Boog and Raz B were the 2 that was there. I don't remember which one of them said it.
Okay.
So he said, and you know you bomb, but you're still sensitive about your shit.
Yeah.
So they said this shit to me. Arsenio Hall is standing right next to me. Something clicked in my head. Something in my head just went, go beat their ass. And on live television, I tried to take a step towards the judging booth. I'm like, in my head, I was like, I must fight you. You just, nigga, my mama's watching. And you just said this shit to me. I have to fight you. Arsenio Hall grabbed the back of my coat, man. He grabbed the back of my coat, smooth as shit, and he just went, mm-mm. And he said it was real low. It was off mic. Like, even when you go back and watch the tape, you don't even know that that's what happened.
Yeah.
You don't even know. You don't even know that that's what happened, man. Like, literally.
I'm gonna go back and watch.
You can't find it. I already scrubbed the internet to make sure that shit.
Oh, yeah. Hey, it is what it is. I don't blame you, shit.
You know they gonna dig up that bullshit. I ain't gonna let y'all find that shit. Oh, no,
hey, I don't blame you on that, man. You gotta protect your image. You gotta protect your brand out here.
Yeah, man.
Especially in this day and age, in this exposing era that we live in. You know.
Yeah, I've been around long enough. Wow. I can shake off a bad joke from 03. Hopefully you think I'm better than that by now.
Okay. All right. So run us back in a time of the most messed up promoter you ever dealt with.
Oh, Dope and Dope Boys. Hands down.
He said
Dope
that
and
all
Dope
real.
Boys. Yeah, they offered to pay us in cocaine. They didn't have our money. So they offered to pay us in cocaine.
Wow.
And they pull guns out, the whole wop, man. Like, for the people who don't know, all right, so like with comedy in the South, you can't perform for the same audience every week and make money every week.
Okay.
It's not enough black rooms. It's not enough white rooms. You just perform for whoever got it. So you might be at a casino performing for old people. Then you might be doing some nigga family reunion. Then you're doing Dope Boys. Then you're doing a bunch of white folks in Macon or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
So what the Dope Boys used to do was, if the feds took their shit, or they got somebody jacked them or whatever, they would do a comedy show to get money to cop a re-up. So they would pre-sale tickets for a month, take the pre-sale money, buy the re-up, flip that, pay the comedians with the profit, and then they back in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a simple way. They do it with rap shows sometimes too, but it's an easy way to get your money back.
That. I know all about it.
So it works for as long as you fucking flip the brick before the fucking show. We get to the show, these niggas ain't sold the brick yet.
Mm-hmm.
So they ain't got our money. They can't refund the tickets to the crowd because they done bought a brick with the fucking money. So they pull us all backstage. Hey man, look, man. Hey, look, nigga, we and the nigga talked, to his credit, the nigga said it was a Saturday night show. It was in Dothan. It's a Saturday night show. He go, the nigga gonna come up here Sunday, nigga. We'll send you Western Union on Monday, nigga. Just do the show for us, though. We don't want to fuck up our good name in the community. So some of the comedians was like, nah, I ain't gonna do the shit. And I was an opener. I was only supposed to make 100. And 2 of the headliners backed out. And so it was just me and the other comedians. And this nigga was like, look, man, let me just put it to you like this. Ain't nobody else leaving this motherfucking room till they walk out that bitch and do a show. And so he had this nigga named Oak. Oak pulled out a fucking Glock, and this nigga just sat by the fucking door. And it was like, y'all can do the show. You can get your money on Monday. Or if you want, you can go over there and pinch you a little bit off the brick. And you can take that with you and flip it yourself. These niggas, and this is why I feel bad. This is why I feel bad telling this story, because these were honest niggas. Like, they were honest dope boys. These niggas brought the brick. Like, they showed it to us. Like, they wasn't running game.
Yeah.
It's like, nigga, we have a situation. The man who was supposed to come buy the dope did not show up tonight. He is coming tomorrow. Would you mind if we... So I lied and act like my mama was on the phone, stepped outside to make a phone call. Nigga, I hopped in my car.
You got to hell up out of there.
Gone.
You're really good at that. You're really good. My bad. You're really good at getting out the way, because I heard that Jay Prince story too, how you booked the ticket the same damn day. You're really good at getting out the way. For some odd reason, you're really good at that.
Nigga, I'm not the confrontational type. I ain't finna just be fighting just to fight. If we gonna fight, in my brain, it's to the death. So if it ain't worth murder, it ain't worth the confrontation. Yeah. So it ain't worth going back and forth over no little bit of money. That Jay Prince shit, man, I thought that nigga was going. Did you see the Sway interview after that?
I saw it. I actually saw it multiple times because I was laughing at it.
Bro,
I was
Jay
laughing
Prince was real about that shit. The long and short, for people who don't know the story, when I used to do prank phone calls, my pranks got hot in Houston because Chameleon was putting my shit on mixtapes. So this record label in Houston reached out to give me an album deal to do a prank phone call CD where I only prank call celebrities. One of the people on the sheet was Jay Prince. So I fly to Houston to the studio to start the album. I landed like 10 in the morning. We called Jay Prince. I started talking shit to Jay Prince. I said, nigga, and this is where he got mad. This is where I knew I was out of line. I said, nigga, ain't none of these Rap-A-Lot artists hot. I ain't sold no Rap-A-Lot shit. Come to my record store and pick up this garbage ass music. Jay Prince just goes, nigga, where you at? I said, what? Where you at? I want to talk to you man to man. Where you at? And the dude, the engineer, that's the nigga, the sound engineer that was in the room. Yeah. He started shaking. And I'm like, oh shit, this is for real. So the producer got on the phone. He goes, hey, Jay, it's us. We were just prank phone calling you. We're over here at the studio. This is Roy. He's a comedian. No harm, no foul. And Jay went, oh, you over there with Harold? I know exactly where you at. Hey, man, turn the car around. And so I figured at that point, Jay Prince was coming to beat the shit out of me. So I bounced. I went back to the fucking airport. I never even went to the hotel.
You booked the same day, and you were supposed to be there for 3 days, right?
I was supposed to be there 3 days doing prank phone calls in the studio.
You left that same day. How many hours were you there?
I was in Houston maybe like 3 hours total.
Wow.
Without baggage claim.
How much was that ticket?
Shit, they paid for it. I don't know.
Oh.
They want to put me down.
You said, man, get me the hell up out of here, bro.
Bro, I went back to the airport. I was like, yeah, I got a return ticket. Can y'all just move me up to today? They said it's a $50 change fee. I said, bitch, you got it.
Oh, okay.
No. And I told that story on Twitter. Somebody was like, imagine a man being scared of another man. You can call me a bitch nigga all you want. I'm not finna get stomped out over no goddamn joke. That ain't what I'm here to do.
You ever had people want to fight you?
I will leave town and wait patiently for 9 years and then make amends. Because now me and Jay Prince good.
You ever had people want to fight you after the show? Because you don't really make a lot of shows about, the people in it. But have you ever had somebody want to just be like, hey, man, you have to see me after this, or I want to fight you here?
Nah, I prank called a nigga in Cleveland, and then a year later he came to my show when I hit the town. That was crazy. And he came up to the merch
Ooh.
table after the show when I was doing meet and greet, and he said he shook my
Wow.
hand and then pulled me in close, and he go, "I'm gonna just let you know that I ain't tripping off that shit you pulled last year, and I just came through tonight to let you know if I wanted to touch you, I
I
could touch
could.
you."
Ooh.
Walked off.
Wow.
So, and that was over a prank call. Like that's just a nigga that's just riled up. That
Yeah,
nigga
yeah,
got to
yeah.
be in jail by now. If
Yeah, 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 yeah.
you mad about a prank call and then you show up to my show a year after the fact,
Yeah.
you just an angry dude. Ain't nothing I can do to help
Yeah, he held on to that one. He
you.
held on to that one. All right, all right. Where do you see Hollywood 10 years from now? And can you see it collapsing from all the independent creators?
I don't think Hollywood collapses, but I think Hollywood has to start sharing the pot. I don't know the numbers exactly, but I know the percentage of film and television that's made in LA has gone down
Yeah.
because they have to share the pot with Atlanta, and they also have to share the pot with New York and Vancouver. Vancouver's taking a lot of shit outside of LA.
Mm-hmm.
I think as more entertainment hubs grow, like low key, man, Nashville gonna be the next Atlanta. Nashville has major TV networks. They have enough of a music infrastructure. They already have an entertainment infrastructure in there that Nashville is probably gonna be the next place to pop. I don't think Hollywood collapses, but I don't think Hollywood is the same as it was 20 years ago. Hell, it ain't that now.
Hmm.
If we being real about this shit. Also, with independent creators, you know, you got people shooting their own movies and stuff like that, but there's also still a talent curve that has to be met with a lot of that stuff. Like just because you can shoot a movie with an iPhone 7 and well written, it don't mean it was well acted. So there's still other hurdles that you're gonna have to overcome. That's what I
Yeah.
discovered. You know, I shot my Comedy Central pilot in Birmingham last year.
Mm-hmm.
And so the thing that we were struggling with in trying to shoot shit at the crib was finding enough talented actors that fit the particular breakdown. So like I didn't have no problem casting my show. We had 13 actors on my show. 8 of them,
Yeah.
counting me, were Alabama residents. So we were really trying to put locals on the
Mm-hmm.
scene. You know what I'm saying? Really making sure that Alabama was represented on camera. But if 5 or 6 more shows came to shoot at the same time, the same way they do in Atlanta, I don't know if there's a deep enough talent pool of on-camera talent that can meet the demands of having a production hub as large as Atlanta or Vancouver. Not yet,
Mm-hmm.
but it's growing and it's coming. So, 10 years from now. Oh, and don't forget about New Orleans.
I
Between
was just
Queen
about to
Sugar
say
and
that. I was
NCIS.
just about to say that.
So that shit wasn't popping 10 years ago. Albuquerque, nigga, do you know what Albuquerque, New Mexico is doing right now? They cooking. They about to get 3 more sound stages there.
Wow.
So a lot of stuff that used to shoot in LA, people ain't even thinking about LA no more. I just think what you're gonna have is a bunch of regional spots that all, can do stuff. If Florida get the laws changed, I think Florida could go back to being what it was. I know Miami used to pop for a long time, like in those CSI Miami days and Dexter and Nip Tuck. That like there was a good run where there was a bunch of Miami shit getting shot. Then they would shoot stuff up in the swamp and up in Orlando and all of that as well. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Hollywood is the hub. I do think that that's where business will always be made. That's where deals will be done. But the independents are coming and they're coming fast. I'm telling you, man, the other side of this Rona, it's somebody writing
Oh,
a
sorry,
script right now that's gonna blow this bitch out the world. Who LA ain't never considered and ain't never looked at. And that motherfucker ain't got nothing but time and opportunity. And they gonna jump on it.
dead ass, dead ass. All right, next one. Where were you and what was you doing when Michael Jackson died?
I was in LA, I was arguing with my girlfriend,
Wow.
and then that shit came on the news and we stopped arguing for a couple hours.
Y'all
To
came
be
together with
sad.
that one, huh?
Yeah, it was sad for a minute, and it was like, so anyway, you don't need a key to my house. Like we got right back into it, man. What I remember most about Michael Jackson dying was all the goddamn traffic, man. Because he died over there by the Beverly Center.
Yeah.
Was it Cedar Sinai? That's where they took him. So it was Michael Jackson fans all out in traffic. I'm just trying to go get me a shirt from Macy's. I don't know if it's crying in the crosswalk. I'm gonna need you to get to the curb, man.
Yeah. Man,
Yeah, I remember that one.
man, I was at Boston's Market. I was at Boston's Market ordering some chicken, and you know how it go. And then I had a radio. I had a radio up loud, and then the man was like, "Ladies and gentlemen, the king of pop is dead."
Michael Jackson dead at 51.
It was over with, man.
I was at a monster truck rally with my son when Kobe died. When I got the Kobe alert, and it's crazy because like when you're in a big, my son loved monster trucks, and it's loud as hell, and you see like 10,000 people all look down at their phone at the same time, and you could just see the energy just leave the arena.
For real?
Like you got a damn truck doing backflip. These white folks, man, these like proper redneck monster truck fans, and they was just like even if they didn't like him, they respected him. Just like,
yeah.
Well, yeah, they're just saying a helicopter or something. Oh my lord! Like you hear the people behind you whispering about it and shit, man. Yeah, I remember those two.
Dang, man, I was fishing, unfortunately, and my phone. I checked my Twitter, and I saw somebody. You know how you see those pictures in the memes, and you know people make up their own little stuff, and it said "Rest in peace, King," and I'm like, what the hell is this shit, man? Like, put that jump back in my pocket. I ain't even believe it. I promise. And Kobe's my dude. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I went to the store, and then my homeboy said, "Yeah, man, Kobe Bryant dead." I'm like, what, man? I just got on Instagram. It's for real, and that's how I found out. I'm like, dang, man, that was crazy. Man. All right, so. What has college done for your career in comedy?
Oh, having a college degree, it helped me because, let me preface it. If you know what you really want to do, don't waste your time in college. College is still a good place to go to learn the world without penalty. It's a safe space it's a trial run at life and social skills beyond, trying to learn some shit. That's a system that I really think ain't gonna survive Corona. Is can't start doing all this e-learning, and that's why these colleges are slow to really do all of this instruction shit online, because then people are gonna be like, well, bitch, why can't you do that all the time? And I just save money on food and dorms and fees.
And it's going on right now.
Dude, the hustle about to be exposed because of this shit. I have a degree in broadcast, but you know my backstory. Here's the thing for me. I got popped when I was 19 for stealing credit cards. So when I graduated from college, I was still on federal probation. So the only reason I was able to get hired at the radio station was because I had a degree. I was a comedian, and I had a degree, and I had a vouch from Ricky Smiley. I needed all of that to overcome checking yes in the box. So, there's certain business aspects. If you're in entertainment of any kind, I would recommend taking business classes, not just for the education of book smarts, but you learn how to approach your craft as a business, and then you meet other people who are connected. And those are friends that you're going to have for life that are going to be in high places. The only fucking reason I ever got on, let me show you a long walk. The only reason I got on ESPN is because two of my partners that I went to journalism school with ended up at Bristol. So I did this sitcom. It got canceled in 2013. One of my partners hit me up, and he goes, yo, man, they trying to bring in new faces for Sports Nation with, I think at the time it was Max Kellerman. It was Max Kellerman, Michelle Beadle, and Marcellus Wiley. And, I know you funny. And fuck it, we went to FAMU. You want to come tell some jokes on So I go do that shit. I do good at that shit. That gets me on 3 or 4 other ESPN shows in a regular rotation. Start fucking with Jamel Hill and them. Start fucking with Bomani Jones and them. And that for a whole year is what kept me afloat. And then when one of the producers from The Daily Show, them and Neil Brennan, Neil Brennan drops my name to the Daily Show when Trevor Noah was coming in to take over. And the producers, oh yeah, he's funny, but has he done this type of stuff before? Boom. I had a whole year of me sitting at a desk cracking jokes about sports. And really, sports and politics ain't that different. It's just some shit that everybody real sensitive about. So you got to be able to write a joke that's very specific and funny that don't piss off one side of the game. So low key, between Neil Brennan's recommendation and that full year on ESPN, that was just me auditioning for Comedy Central. That doesn't happen if I don't meet them niggas back in 96.
Yeah.
So, you know, I just think that there's going to be people that you're going to meet. The thing with college, the trick with college, man, is that, again, you got to be around motivated people that's really serious about graduating and doing something with themselves, man. I wouldn't, like, even with my son, you know, I would like for him to get some sort of education just so he can have a place to fuck up that's safe. Because if I'm not in school, I get arrested for that same shit, I'm gone. I go to
It's
jail.
over with. It's over with.
Being in school is part of where I got probation and not prison.
Yeah.
That's real shit.
Wow, that's actually real. That's real.
The courts look at that shit when they're deciding on how much of a fuck should we give about this nigga. He got a job. This nigga in school. He got a letter from 4-5 people who say he a good nigga. You know what? Go and get nigga probation, see if he turned into something. And I did.
Yeah.
So little things like that, man, that shit matters, man. I want my kid to go to school, but I wouldn't sit here and act like it's the be all end all. I get why old black people preach it because they got beat over the head for the right to go do it.
Yeah.
I got my ass whooped for you to go do something. You damn right I'm gonna make you go do it. I got my ass whooped. You better go vote.
Yeah. Dead up. Man, that's kind of crazy, man. All right. So what would you do if you weren't in the field of comedy? I know you said broadcast, journalism, but broadcasting.
Maybe radio firefighter, man.
For real?
I'm a pyro, bro.
Man.
I was on my way to being a firefighter out of high school. I wasn't even gonna fuck with college. And then I saw Stuart Scott. Stuart Scott is what gave me the pivot. He talked like me, he looked like me, but he talking about sports. We do that at the lunch table.
Yeah.
Would I need to major in to do that? Oh, journalist? All right, cool. Well, let me go major in journalism.
Dang. That's crazy, man. That's crazy, man.
That was gonna be the move, man. I was just gonna be a firefighter. Retire at 35. Make a good living of myself.
That's crazy you said that because my step pops were pretty much my father. You know, the one who you call your father, that's the one who raised you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But he was a firefighter, and I had a full scholarship to go to school and all that stuff. And but you know how it is. You get hard headed and you want to do other stuff. So I had a open book to go to firefighting school and become a firefighter. And that was actually an option of mine, but I chose to do other things, as you can see.
Yeah. It's a solid job. It's a job where there ain't gonna never be no layoffs.
Yeah.
You want to talk about some shit that's recession proof, man. First responding, man.
For real. All right. How do you feel about the comedy game from when you first started to now? I mean, you kind of answered it a little bit along the way, but I just wanted my question.
The audience, you got to make yourself. Nobody's going to make you. It used to be the game in the 90s and the early 2000s. The game used to be an agent would step to you and go, yo, I think you're funny. I can help you find your audience. Now it's you're funny, but where is your audience? It's on you to figure out what you need to be doing to connect with people and remain connected with people. One of the things that I think a lot of comedians slept on was when John Witherspoon died. And looking back at Witherspoon's career and how his comedy crossed generations.
For real.
Like,
for real.
Be in the game back in the Richard Pryor, Paul Mooney era, and to still be around and relevant and selling tickets. The last time I opened for him was like, it was Boondocks wasn't even on the air yet. So this had to be like 06, 07 type shit. I remember opening for Witherspoon and seeing 3 generations of Black people at the table. Like that's a gift. But the only way you cross generations is your comedy has to evolve. So, at some point you have to figure out a way to reach new people and do new things. Sinbad does a good job of it. George Wallace is an OG. He's stretched decades. He's done a great job of it. I would say D.L. Hughley is probably one of the first from that era, from when I started, to like turn the page in a way where he ain't just cracking on people in the crowd no more. He's coming for something a little bit more political and something a little more opinionated, which is going to connect with a lot of people under 40, because there's a lot of people in the 30s that's pissed at the country and the government. So what DL's spitting, that's going to speak to their hearts immediately.
That's real. That's real. The next one, you'd already answered it. A jail or near jail experience. You already answered that, so we're gonna move on.
Oh yeah, that was a crazy one.
Here. Matter of fact, we at the good part of the interview, since the whole thing been good, but now it's about to get funny. It's about to really get funny. So these next questions I'm about to ask you, here it go. You know what I'm saying?
The end of the interview always get chaotic.
Yeah. We gonna elevate it. All right. You gotta pick one. A Hollywood star Walk of Fame or $1 million? $1
million. You got to pay to be on the Walk of Fame. You have to pay. You literally have to pay them money to put your shit.
Damn.
Let me tell you something about the Walk of Fame.
Damn.
It's called an honorarium or some registration fee. They cover it up with some other. You have to make a donation. We're honoring you, but if you could just make a donation to the sidewalk motherfucker thing. I mean, it's an honor to be able to pay $800 to be on the sidewalk, I guess.
Yeah.
That goes back to your old question: is Hollywood even Hollywood? So how relevant is that? It's cool, but I'd rather have $1 million. I'd take that, invest and flip. You can take $1 million if you're smart and have $5 million, 2-3 years if you know what you're doing with it. That's longevity.
That's a good
Star on the Walk of Fame ain't gonna get my son shit.
For real.
Need him.
Yeah. Dead ass. All right. Theater or Netflix?
Netflix, because it's global and that would help me reach more people. Also, I'm not sure if movie theaters will survive Corona. They already dropping these, the movies, these theaters are already dropping these theatrical releases straight to our TVs right now. Watch, and once you start giving people the dope straight to their house for $40, $50, bruh, people ain't gonna be going to movies like that no more, man. The theaters are gonna, all these 20 screen, 14 screen, that shit gone. You go to the movies after this shit, it's gonna be full screens. Like, motherfucker, we got Bad Boys, we got Star Wars. Which one you want? One in HD, one in IMAX.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Sanford and Son or the Jefferson?
Oh shit.
I got you. Yeah. Let's go.
Based on what though? Based on what criteria?
Hey, I'm gonna just go ahead and I'm gonna let you have it. I ain't finna go there. That's on you. Sanford and Son or the Jefferson?
Fuck.
Damn.
I gotta go Jeffersons, and only because Sanford and Son had that 1 or 2 weird seasons without Fred, and they still tried to do the show without him when Red Fox had the falling out with the network.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you remember, it was just called Sanford, and it was just Lamont and Grady living
I never
together.
knew that, and I watched a lot of episodes.
Oh man, you got.
I never knew that.
Shit on it.
And I've watched a lot of episodes.
Weird. It looks
what?
Weird.
That happened?
Yeah. Yes, they're actual, like, a full season.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Show no Red Fox.
Wow, that's a new one on me.
Yeah, Grady and Lamont, 1980s, 8 episodes. Yeah.
So they did pretty much a whole season without him.
Yeah, Sanford is a short-lived American sitcom that was a sequel to the original Sanford and Son. It broadcast on NBC for one season.
And then Red Fox
Yeah.
came back.
No, Red Fox didn't fuck with it at all. He dabbled in it here and there, but it was about Grady and Lamont. No, you know what, man? Fuck you, man. Sanford and Son. Sanford and Son.
He gonna switch it up. He gonna switch it up.
Because Sanford and Son, in a lot of ways, essentially gave us Martin. Stylistically. Like if you break it down, Lamont was Tommy, Grady was Cole, Esther was Pam, Donna was Gina. It was, if you look at the relationships, Fred, anytime Esther showed up, Fred called her ugly and started Joan on her.
Yeah.
That ain't nothing but BDB.
Yeah.
Fred was basically Martin in the sense of, I know what I'm doing. Can't nobody tell me nothing. I'm the man in this house. I run things. Oh shit, I don't run things. Somebody help me. Like it was, I don't know, man. That's a tough one, man. But just the characters that just used to come through the door, the white cop, like you really, it takes being older and having interactions with the police to, like, you can go back and watch Sanford and Son and laugh for totally different reasons now because you're just grown. And you're like, when the white cop is, well, Mr. Sanford, I am blah, 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 and trying to relate with colored things. It's like, oh, I get it now. That
went over your head back then.
Shit, man, that's a tough one, bro.
I'm glad I asked that.
Yeah, I got into an argument with one of my homeboys about whether or not Lamont was a scrub because he lived with his daddy.
Damn.
But technically, they ran a business.
They did.
But he lived with his daddy. But did he? Because he lived at work. Technically, the junk business was the house. So is it?
All right. I might have a follow-up question with this next one just to see what you say with this first one. But hold on, here you go. You got to pick one. So you're running by on the bridge. You run on the bridge and you see your career and your best friend drowning. Who you saving? You're on the bridge jogging. You look down and you hear help. You see your career and you see your best friend. You gotta pick one. Who the hell you saving?
How he get in the water though?
Hey, it don't matter.
How he get in the water? What did he do?
Who is he? Your career?
Because I got friends. No, my friend. Because I got friends that fuck up and I have to choose, and I've had to choose them or relationships, and I've chosen them and then I have to choose again. I've made this choice before, is what I'm saying.
Okay. Oh.
I've been faced with this choice in real life. There are two people that I know for sure I would give up my career to save or help. My mom, I would walk away from all of this shit tomorrow for her.
Yeah.
I would just, if I had to just go pack bag groceries, I would get me a Corona mask and go bag groceries. And then I got a partner from high school who I've known since, fourth grade, fifth grade. And I don't have a lot of friends like that. Not many, if any, if I'm being real about it. I grew up with a lot of people, but I changed schools a lot. So I never got the bond that a lot of niggas get who went K through 12 with a crew, So I would run for him. I'd jump in the water for him. Like I've already told him, like I would legit take care of his kid on some goddaddy shit.
Yeah.
Like if something happened to him and, God forbid, those are the only two. Anybody else, man, you niggas should take 20 lessons. I'll save my career and pay for your funeral.
Ooh.
That's shit, man.
Hey, all right. So here's the follow-up, though. I don't know. This is my first time asking this. All right. I know it's gonna sound kind of crazy, but I gotta throw the wrench in there. All right, so you're still on the bridge and you hear help. It's your best friend still up in there, but you take out your career, it's Jesus in there. You gotta pick Jesus or your best friend. Who you picking to save?
Jesus is supposed to be able to walk on water, so I already know that ain't Jesus. So I'm saving my best friend. That's some nigga in a robe and sandals. No.
You ain't saving Jesus, bro?
That's not Jesus.
That's not Jesus.
That's not Jesus. That's some dude. Like, no.
What if he say, I am your father and I'm testing you. I'm testing you. He got to spring up out of the water like, I'm testing you. It's a test.
Then I'm going to save Jesus. Then I go over here and save my friend too. If you really Jesus, bring him back here.
All right. Here go the last one. We're about to wrap it up, y'all. The grand finale with Roy Wood Jr. Roy, you got to pick one. If you had to choose, well, you got to choose. Pick one to get rid of. Your dick or your eyes? Come with
it. That is such a nigga question.
If you had to get rid of one, you got to pick one. You chopping off the drill sergeant or you going without your eyesight?
Fuck it, man. Take my dick.
Damn, what?
Going on.
Oh my God.
I see what's going on, bro. I done fucked enough. And your dick get you in more trouble than it's worth. And you run around like, dang. I can learn how to not fuck, but I'm 41, nigga. I ain't finna learn Braille and get a dog and then have to live with somebody. You know, like that's. I know it's a lot of pride in your dick, and that's my dick. Tell you something. Anybody keeping a dick, as you ask this question to everybody on your show, keep a running tab of who over 40 and under 40 decided to keep the dick. I guarantee it's all young niggas want to keep their dick because their dick got low miles. You still trying. I'm good, bro. I got a kid. I'm fine. I take my balls and put some sperm in the freezer if I want to make one more. I just.
Oh Lord.
Wait, hold on. How are you chopping the dick off?
It don't matter, man. It just ain't gonna be there no more. It's just not gonna be there no more. It's just not gonna be there no more, man. It's just not gonna be there no more. So you choosing to keep your eyesight, right?
Yeah, man. I think I got to go on the record with that, man. I think I just got to. I want to see, just to be able to see every day. Is that not an orgasm in itself? I'm trying to justify it right now.
Yeah, I feel you.
Not, and to see your child's first steps.
Yeah.
And see your kid grow up and da.
Yeah.
How much longer? Here's the thing. You're going to need your eyes longer than you're going to need your dick. Everybody talk about keeping a dick. You ain't going to be fucking for real after 57. You ain't got that type of money. Like,
damn, he said you ain't got that type of money. Damn.
Most niggas who take that much pride in their dick, your dick, how you even know your dick gonna work? You get rid of your eyes and then you fucking dick go limp. Now what? Ha. Now you blind and you can't fuck.
Damn.
At least I can get glasses for my eyes. Well, I guess you can get a pill for your dick. Let me be fair. You can't get a pill.
All right, y'all. So, man, that's it. That's a wrap, man. We got my guy Roy Wood Jr. in the building. It was good having you, man. Tell everybody what your socials and everything is. You know what I'm saying? And
it ain't no thing, man. My name Roy Wood Jr. Google it. Fuck with me. If not, fuck with somebody else. Either way, support comedy. I don't care. Just support people that's coming to your town and slinging jokes, man. Respect to you, brother. Respect to your grind. Respect to your evolution as well.
Appreciate it.
I got all the good. I wish I could sing, man. I wish I had the courage to sing. But you know, you did it.
I got the microphone sitting right here too. That's kind of crazy, right? How you said that.
Got the vinyl set up.
Oh
in the
yeah,
room,
you see it? You see it? You see
Yeah,
it?
man.
Okay.
Yeah. Got some Flip Wilson up there on the wall, or
Oh
Richard
yeah.
Pryor, all that stuff, man. I know my covers.
Yes,
So yeah,
sir.
man. Well, I appreciate you, man. So stay safe, man. Stay strong. And I'll see you on the other side of this thing.
All good, Roy. Appreciate you,
Yes,
man.
sir.
All
Yeah,
right,
man.
y'all. That's it for Unspoken Truth. And we out.